Welcome, friends, families, and 40-year-old stepchildren. I'm Erin.
I'm Tom.
And this is Baby's First Watch List.
And this is April.
April's here. Today we are discussing one of the most quoted movies in our respective high school and college careers. It's 2008's Step Brothers.
Very nostalgic for me.
Yeah, very much so. Me too.
The Ferrell era was a very specific time in my life.
Yeah, I feel like we were kind of the perfect age for it.
100%.
Right? So this, I call it a new classic.
Yeah, sure.
New classic
Roger Ebert
comedy.
didn't think so.
No. Was directed by Adam McKay and stars co-writer Will Ferrell and co-story come-upper John C. Reilly.
Okay, which is the technical term.
Yeah.
That's how Hollywood
it's very confusing because, all right, it's not. Adam McKay, Will Ferrell, and John C. Reilly came up with the story for this movie, and the screenplay is by Will Ferrell and Adam McKay.
Yeah, so they talked about it. I'll just get to it now. While they were making Talladega Nights together, when they were editing it,
Shake and bake.
They were sort of like, messing around thinking of what the next movie was going to be. And all they kept talking about, the one thing that got them on this movie was imagining the two of them in bunk beds. And that was where the idea for Step Brothers came from.
That's good.
And so John C. Reilly probably helped out with the game planning and all that stuff, but didn't actually do the screenplay.
Cool. This movie was co-produced by Judd Apatow, who is known for 40-Year-Old Virgin, Knocked Up. What else?
Yeah, what else is he known for? Funny People?
Funny People? I don't know. He produced a lot of stuff. Like anytime there's
King of Staten Island,
and
Trainwreck.
Yeah, exactly. I was gonna say anytime that you have like a comedian who has like a moment of being serious, that's Judd Apatow usually.
Yep. Those are all the movies in his top paragraph on Wikipedia, except for This Is 40, which is a spin-off of Knocked Up.
Yep.
And The Bubble, 2022.
I don't know that.
Don't either.
I know Judd Apatow for making movies that are half an hour too long.
Yeah, absolutely. This one, not so. This one's fine.
Yeah, this one's fine. So the cinematographer his name is Oliver Wood.
Yes, I wrote him down.
Oliver Wood, the Quidditch champion.
From our Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone fans.
I loved the movie. Oliver Wood was so cute.
Is that it?
No. So
is that it on Oliver Wood? Okay.
Oliver Wood, the cinematographer, has a crazy resume. Did you see?
I didn't. I'm looking him up right now.
No, don't look it up.
Okay, because I've heard of him before because we've made that reference before, but I don't know. I don't remember what he's done.
So he did Step Brothers. He did Talladega Nights. He did Freaky Friday. He did Face Off, and he did the Bourne trilogy.
Listen, where's his Oscar?
He has a BAFTA.
Good. For Bourne? One of the Bourne movies?
Yeah, Ultimatum. So released in the summer of 2008, in the end of the dog days of July, Step Brothers, I put Step Brother, was a critical mixed bag, but a commercial success. It currently has a 55% on Rotten Tomatoes. Rude.
Not terrible, though, for comedies. Especially a stupid comedy.
And honestly, the consensus on Rotten Tomatoes is that, if you like Ferrell and Reilly, you'll like this, and if you don't, you won't. Which, yeah.
At the time, how many Ferrell Reilly vehicles were there? Was it just Talladega Nights?
Yeah, maybe.
I think this was the second one, and then I don't even know, was there any in between? I know they did Holmes and Watson, which was apparently terrible.
Yeah. I don't know. I always see them as
they're
a
comedy duo.
Yeah, but I guess you're right. They don't do too much, but the ones they do, besides Holmes and Watson,
which we didn't see, to be fair.
Iconic.
Well, and then also, are we going to talk about the drama?
Oh, well, we will.
Because it's the three of them.
Maybe in the discussion.
It's the three of them.
Maybe in the discussion point. Because I do ask about, Adam. I asked you to rank all the Adam McKay directed movies.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll talk about it.
I didn't look at them, but I will.
There is drama, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Reportedly.
Yeah.
I don't know them, so. But yeah, there's drama. It's sad. Many moviegoers loved it, however.
I did. I think I saw it in theaters.
I'm pretty sure I saw it in theaters too. It made $128.1 million on a surprisingly big $65 million budget.
Where did that budget come from?
You got Catherine Hahn, baby.
Yeah, exactly. And like her first
you
like
gotta
major
pay
role.
out.
Adam Scott, his first major role.
I know. Yeah, it's so. I don't know why. I mean, I guess like think about it. Like
Rob Riggle, his first major role.
the boat. Like you got
you got the boat stuff.
crashing.
You got to set up the Catalina Wine Mixer.
You got a lot of like stunts that you have to do.
Yeah.
So you bury somebody alive.
You got the drum set.
There's a lot going on.
Yeah, there is a lot going on.
Some prosthetics that we won't talk about.
Yep. I will reference.
Since its release, I
music.
think,
There's a lot of music.
Yeah, there is a lot of music.
Maybe a lot of it went
That's
to the
true.
soundtrack.
It's become, in my opinion, a new comedy classic, and it resulted in a canceled rap album.
Yes.
Apparently, Will Ferrell and John C. Reilly, the plan was for them to do a rap album.
Yes.
And a sequel that has never come to fruition. That part
Fortunately.
of the Wikipedia
I don't like
page
where that
was random and
I don't like where
weird.
that was going.
It
It
was
doesn't need
like-
a sequel.
There was nothing written.
Right.
And it was like, oh, right after it came out, Adam McKay was like, yeah, we're doing a sequel. And then like a couple years later, he was like, I don't know. And then he was back to like, yeah. And then it's like, no. And then like,
Farrell said no.
no. John C. Reilly was like, I don't think so.
John C. Reilly was like, we don't like if there's not a good idea, we're not going to do it.
Yeah. So it felt weird to
Yeah.
me.
Maybe that was part of the drama.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe. Still, the impressive cast and quotable lines make this one of the best Ferrells of the 2000s.
It is one of the most quotable movies I think I've ever watched.
I find it to be like if you say
I find it to be a
Catalina-
mix between Fergie and Jesus.
Exactly. If you say Catalina Wine Mixer,
Yes.
if you say there's so much room for activities, if you say did we just become best friends,
Yes.
if you just say John Stamos,
Yeah.
people know what
People
you're
know.
talking about. If you sing a cappella Sweet Child of Mine.
Porty. Or that one.
Yeah, or that one. If like you say, oh, we say it all the time, like, oh, we're 80s Joel cover
Yeah,
band.
80s Joel.
Like, it's so like
We don't
if
do
you
that,
say-
man. We're just doing 80s Joel.
If you say like I didn't order the salmon.
Hopefully you're not quoting any of the Catherine Hahn lines.
No. There's a lot of lines that we can't say because
Yes.
they're really
That will be
rated R.
redacted.
Yeah. Yeah, but your voice is like a mix between Fergie and Jesus. It's so good. Not Fergie singing the national anthem though,
No.
unfortunately.
No. Shout out Draymond Green.
Oh my god. So yeah, I love Step Brothers. I'm surprised my dad's never seen it.
Yeah. Hopefully
is
he will
wild.
have listened. Hopefully he will have seen it by the time this comes out.
I'm gonna tell him that this
Yeah.
week is a Step Brothers you gotta watch it week. Maybe I'll force him to watch it during like Sunday dinner or something.
Yeah. I would watch it again. I said
watch
last
it
week
every day.
on my Desert Island movies list. This was on there.
Yeah.
All of the mid 2000s Ferrells except for Blades of Glory.
I prefer Talladega Nights to this one.
This is up there. It's those two and Anchorman are like right up
I
there.
love Anchorman too. I think that Talladega
John C.
Nights.
Reilly wasn't in Anchorman, was he?
No, I don't think so. Talladega Nights is my number one, and I love Elf too, but I don't count that. That's in a separate
No, that's
category
different.
for me.
That's different.
Um,
It's not a raunchy comedy.
right,
Like
exactly.
these are raunchy comedies.
Yeah.
These are vulgar comedies.
Yeah. Although this is the first rated R one. The others are PG-13.
Really?
Right?
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not looking that up, so.
I'm pretty sure.
No, I believe you.
So that's what I got on Step Brothers. I didn't put the runtime in, but it's short.
Yeah.
It's like 90 something minutes.
And that's our episode. We'll see you later.
So Tom,
I'm currently looking up John C. Reilly's filmography to see if he was in any other. He's low key like in more Paul Thomas Anderson movies than in movies with Will Ferrell.
John C. Reilly's an Oscar nominee.
Yeah, he is. John C. Reilly's great.
He's number one. He's super into dramatic roles that
Yeah.
you don't think.
He's been in like Terrence Malick movies.
Yeah. Number two, which by the way, did you know that I looked it up today, Roger Ebert's last review was a Terrence Malick movie?
Which one was it?
It was like something like
It
The
wasn't Hidden
Wonder
Life,
or
was it?
something.
Okay.
And also John C. Reilly actually is a really good singer.
Yeah.
So
He doesn't sing in this movie, right?
yeah, he does. If you wanna get down
Oh,
on
yeah,
these,
yeah,
and
yeah.
it's like inappropriate.
Yes. And he also does Boats and Hoes.
Yeah, of course. So he's a very, very distinguished actor.
Yeah, he is.
So I'm not surprised.
He was
that
also in We Need to Talk About Kevin. Remember that?
he was the dad in that one. That movie is wild. I think of him as outside of the Will Ferrell stuff to be in. He's in Chicago.
He was in. Oh yeah, Manon just texted us about the Lakers Showtime show, Winning Time. We're gonna talk about that. That's part of the drama.
Yeah, that's part of the drama. Yeah.
Yeah, he did. He was like John C. Reilly. He was in Anchorman too, but it was a cameo.
Okay.
But I think it's just these two, and then
Holmes and Watson.
Holmes and Watson.
That's wild.
He's been in 3 movies with Will Ferrell, and he's been in 4 Paul Thomas Anderson movies. So arguably, he's more a Paul Thomas
PTA
Anderson guy than.
Is he in The
Will Ferrell.
Master?
He's in Licorice Pizza.
Yeah.
Because remember he was the one guy.
The Frankenstein guy or
Yep.
monster guy or whatever.
Yep. He was in Hard 8.
Okay.
He was in where is Paul Thomas Anderson here?
I feel like he'd be in The Master.
He was in Magnolia.
Oh.
And he was in Boogie Nights.
Oh, okay. I knew he was in Boogie Nights.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's
Cool.
his 4.
Love him. He's my king.
Yeah, he's in a ton of stuff. He was in a Scorsese, which Gangs of New York. He was in a Tim and Eric $1 billion movie.
Remember we watched the Laurel and Hardy movie?
Yeah, Stan and Ollie.
He was in that. He was so good in that.
He was in The Lobster. Like he's in so much like random stuff.
Ugh, hated The Lobster.
I can predict every single time that you're gonna.
I hate that movie.
He's also Wreck-It Ralph,
Of course.
which is great.
I'm going to wreck it. All right, give us a summary of Step Brothers.
All right, I think I did a pretty good job here.
Okay.
I tried to weave some jokes in and some
There's
quotes
not
in.
like that much that happens.
There's a decent amount that happens in this movie. Okay, so Step Brothers. We begin with a black screen and a quote from then United States President George W. Bush. "Families is where our nation finds hope, where wings take dream."
It's beautiful. Which, by the way, you saw Will Ferrell as George W. Bush at Madison Square Garden.
It was not. It was in the
Rockefeller
theater. It was
Center?
in the theater district somewhere.
Okay.
Because of one of the jokes.
One
that
of
he
the
made,
jokes he makes, yeah.
which I will not be repeating.
But you saw it like the one that was taped for HBO.
Yes, I don't know if it's still on HBO.
It probably
I
is.
hope it is.
I'm sure it
where
is.
he played George W. Bush and did like a whole one-man show kind of thing.
Good stuff.
It was great. I
Funny.
loved it. I was like the perfect age for it. I was like 15.
All right, sorry, go ahead.
So, 39-year-old Brennan Huff, played by Will Ferrell, and 40-year-old Dale Doback, played by John C. Reilly, are immature adults still living at home with their parents. Brennan lives with his divorced mom, Nancy, played by Mary Steenburgen, and Dale lives with his widowed dad, Robert, played by Richard Jenkins. At some kind of work conference, and details don't matter, Robert meets Nancy by making an awkward comment on stage while delivering her presentation, and they quickly fall in love and marry. Neither Brennan nor Dale is excited about this, with both airing their grievances at their new parents' wedding. The situation forces Brennan and Dale to live together, 2 grown men sharing a bedroom as stepbrothers, the walls decorated with various 80s, 90s, and sci-fi related nostalgia. Dale gives Brennan a tour of the house, giving him one major rule: do not touch my drum set.
Yep.
The stepbrothers' relationship begins in kind of a rough way. Neither wants to share their parent with the other, and they initially despise each other. After one confrontation, Brennan breaks Dale's number 1 rule by slamming around on the drums, screaming, and bashing the drumsticks as hard as he can. Shortly thereafter, Dale comes home to see Brennan sweating on the couch, allegedly watching the TV show Cops, but Dale inspects his drum set to find a crack on one of the drumsticks. After Dale accuses him of touching his drum set, Brennan takes offense and runs upstairs to rub a very sensitive part of his body on the drum set repeatedly. Dale tackles Brennan into the ground, and the two brawl to the point of knocking each other out cold with a simultaneous bat/golf club shot to the head. Nancy and Robert return home and scold their sons, grounding them by taking away their TV for a week and ordering them to find jobs within a month. One night, Dale and Brennan begin to sleepwalk, and they destroy the family kitchen, stuffing couch pillows in the oven and Nancy's purse in the refrigerator. Shortly thereafter, the family is visited by Brennan's arrogant younger brother Derek, played by Adam Scott, who is a successful helicopter leasing agent and a real estate agent. He's introduced in one of the best ways, which is the Sweet Child of Mine
Yes.
segment with Catherine Hahn and
Something's
going on outside, and their children. Which, if you don't know what we're talking about, if you haven't seen this movie 8,000 times like us, just look it up on YouTube. It's a great scene. And it's one of the few scenes where like Adam Scott is a bad guy. So
yeah, we don't normally see that at all.
No, this was his first comedic role.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's wild. Now he's back to drama.
Yep. Derek ridicules both Dale and Brennan and visits them in their treehouse, where Dale punches him in the face and knocks him down the ladder. Mm-hmm. Brennan gains respect for Dale for standing up to Derek, and not only that, but Derek's wife Alice, played by Catherine Hahn, finds Dale's courage attractive and begins an affair with him.
Yes. That's a very nice
A very
way to put
torrid
it.
affair.
Yes.
From here, Brennan and Dale start to bond over their shared pop culture taste, and Dale even gets Brennan to open up to the point where he reveals his beautiful singing voice to the song Something to Talk About.
Let's give them something to talk about.
When
And then
Brennan
he like scats at the end.
When Brennan trails off of singing, Dale describes Brennan's voice as a mix between Fergie and Jesus.
True.
And so the pair heads off to job interviews together. They wear tuxedos to the interviews, and they offend the interviewers in various ways. And on top of that, on the way home, they are bullied and assaulted by school children. Soon after, Robert and Nancy reveal to their sons that with Derek's help, they plan on selling the house, retiring, and traveling the world on Robert's sailboat. They also sign Brennan and Dale up for therapy, which, like, yeah, sure.
Probably should have been done before then.
Yeah. Brennan is attracted to his therapist immediately, but the attraction is not mutual. I didn't like this story. I didn't like that storyline.
No, it's very
subplot.
2008.
Yeah. Brennan and Dale spend some time thwarting Derek's efforts to sell the house, dressing up during house showings as racist neighbors, and once acting as if Brendan died on the floor overnight. Brennan died on the floor overnight, staving off the home sale for the time being.
It's so funny. I'm sorry.
He was like, it was only since last night.
He was like painted purple.
He was like... The family then celebrates Derek's birthday, and Dale and Brennan present a pitch video for their entertainment company, Prestige Worldwide, that includes a music video titled Boats and Hoes.
It's very Entertainment 360.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, for sure.
From Parks and Rec.
The video, filmed on Robert's boat without his permission or knowledge, shows the boat crashing.
It's just the most like plot holy thing
Yes.
that I don't care. I think it's
Yes.
hilarious.
Shows the boat crashing, shattering Robert and Nancy's sailing dreams, and
Wow.
also straining their marriage.
Yeah, they get divorced.
Then, spoilers, then it's time for Christmas. On Christmas Eve, the pair have another sleepwalking bout, this time tossing Robert down the stairs after he tries to wake them up.
Oh, yeah, that was bad.
After he spent the night at the Cheesecake Factory getting drunk.
Yeah. You reek of cheesecake.
I think he says, tonight at the Cheesecake Factory is the happiest I've been in months.
Yeah.
At Christmas dinner, Robert and Nancy formally announce their separation and divorce, upsetting Brennan and Dale, who blame each other. And both Robert and Derek let them know that it is absolutely their fault.
Yeah.
Brennan and Dale go their separate ways, live independently, and gradually become functioning adults. They even read books before going to sleep at night, in Dale's case. Brennan gets a job at Derek's helicopter leasing company and volunteers to oversee a prestigious event, the Catalina Wine Mixer.
That's right.
He hires the catering company that employs Dale, and he invites Robert and Nancy to attend. Sort of a little Parent Trap situation, but unintentionally. The party's going smoothly until the lead singer of the hired 1980s Billy Joel cover band, played by Horatio Sands, loses his temper and is hustled away. Derek blames Brennan for the situation and fires him. Robert then reveals to Dale and Brennan his regrets from his childhood when he pretended to be a Tyrannosaurus Rex until he was 7 years old, but gave it up under parental pressure to become a normal child. Robert encourages Brennan and Dale to be their eccentric, child-at-heart selves again, to never lose their dinosaur, and suggests that they perform on stage to save the party. The pair take the stage, and Brennan sings Por Ti Volare, which is a version of an Andrea Bocelli song, or piece. I don't know what you want to call it. While Dale accompanies him on drums to the tune of Boats and Hoes. Derek is so moved by Brennan's performance that he and Brennan make amends, and Dale breaks off his relationship with Alice, much to her dismay. He doesn't just like run away from her.
Yeah.
6 months later, Robert and Nancy are back living together in their old house, while Brennan and Dale have turned Prestige Worldwide into a successful entertainment company that owns various karaoke bars and clubs. Robert has turned his boat into a treehouse packed with pirates' hats, crossbows, and Chewbacca masks, which Dale and Brennan absolutely go nuts over. And during the ending credits, Dale and Brennan fly a helicopter to the playground and exact their revenge on the school children who previously beat them up.
The end.
Step Brothers.
Beautiful. It's such a good movie.
Yeah. I probably missed half the movie in there.
The haters.
I probably missed like half the movie in there.
Yeah, like when the bunk beds crash.
Yeah.
And he has like one tiny little scrape.
Ow.
Yeah. Or when like after Brennan messes around with the drum kit and Dale comes on. He's like, "Why are you so sweaty?" He goes, "I was watching Cops."
I said that.
Oh, that was so funny. Okay, my first thing I said, the A-punkification of 2008.
Seriously.
I
wrote that too.
The song by Vampire Weekend is the first song that plays in Step Brothers, and it's just like it's everywhere.
Not only that, but Dale in the beginning is playing Guitar Hero, which is also
there you go.
That's it.
I said, what are some other years that had songs that were like everywhere? Can you think of? It doesn't. You don't have to say the year, but like a song that you could not escape from.
Happy.
Because I'm happy.
Yeah.
Hey, that's made for a movie.
Which one?
Despicable Me.
Oh yeah.
I think Despicable Me 2.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Get
Lucky.
Happy. Yeah. He's up all night to get Yeah, I know that one. Do you know what I said?
What?
Fireflies.
Yeah, like what?
You
Like
would
2009.
not believe your eyes. Yeah.
That one was a rough one.
That was. I never remember that. Yeah, and that was. I didn't like that song very much.
Sorry, Owl City, if you're listening.
Do you know what song also was kind of everywhere? Tick tock on the clock.
Was that, or was that just because we were
in college
basements all the time?
That might be it, actually. Same with Clarity. I feel like Clarity was everywhere. Or the what levels?
I Need Your Love.
Oh, I Need Your Love everywhere.
Yep.
My God.
Yeah.
No, yeah, this was like major.
Yeah, absolutely. So there's a few, I guess.
Yeah. I feel like we would have to watch like teen movies from 2012 to get like all those movies in one.
Yeah.
Or all those songs in one.
For sure.
I said, what's the best piece of clothing in this movie?
Oh, man. I wasn't even really paying attention to the clothing.
There are so many.
The Chewbacca mask sticks out.
That's pretty good. There's so many T-shirts.
Are there? Oh, yeah. Well, there's the iconic one to me, which is the John C. Reilly Yoda shirt. That he wears like the whole movie. He wears like 15 times. The tuxedos.
Brennan wears a Crystal shirt. I don't know who Crystal is. Dale wears a Kawasaki dirt bike shirt.
For some reason, that just makes perfect sense.
And Brennan, when he goes to therapy, he wears a shirt that says "Life is a beach." Those are the ones that really stuck out to me.
Oh man,
I love them. I think that the costuming is underrated in this movie.
It's exactly what these like man children would be wearing.
Exactly. And I love that. You could tell they went to different like consignment shops.
Yeah.
And just kind of picked out what they could. Yeah, totally. All right. So I ask you to rank the Adam McKay directed movies. So
I'm going to go to his Wikipedia right now. So
I have them listed.
Okay, but I need to see them in front of me. Go ahead, say them.
So in case you are unaware, Adam McKay started off.
Are we just doing his comedies?
We're doing what he directed.
Okay.
I'm going to skip Anchorman 2.
I haven't seen it, so.
Okay, perfect. So he kind of started with like Will Ferrell comedies, and then got into more prestige movies. So we have Anchorman, Talladega Nights, Step Brothers, The Other Guys. Then he did Anchorman.
The Other Guys is really good too.
I don't like it as much, but it's still so funny. We're gonna skip Anchorman 2, and then he jumps to The Big Short, Vice.
How am I gonna put these together?
And Don't Look Up.
All right.
Go from the worst to the best. Don't Look Up is the worst.
I'm just gonna go in reverse order. Don't Look Up's the worst one. I don't think that's particularly close.
No.
It has a couple funny moments, but
yeah,
we've
Timothy
talked about them in
Chalamet.
previous episodes. It's mostly Timothy Chalamet. Jonah Hill was kind of funny.
Yeah.
After that is Vice.
Yeah.
Which has one really good performance and a funny bit in the middle where they cut to the credits.
Yeah, that was really good. The rest not good.
As if like Cheney never became vice president, and that was the end of the movie.
Right.
Then The Big Short.
Not as good upon rewatch, in my opinion.
It was good, but also when I watched it, I had Robbie next to me who was then working on like Wall Street and was explaining everything to me as it was happening.
Shout out.
Like, oh, that's what this means. That's what this means.
Shout out fellow podcaster Robbie.
Yeah, exactly. Shout
more
out.
Successful.
Lot about nothing.
More successful podcaster.
So that's The Big Short. I would say, yeah, because then I would say The Other Guys is better than The Big Short. The Other Guys has one of the better opening twists I think I've ever seen in a movie. Mm-hmm. With two guys who were
mega
perfect
stars
for it at the time. It also has the desk pop, which I thought was really funny.
Mm-hmm.
And it has Dirty Mike and the Boys, which is very funny.
Yeah, that is funny.
I am not a Wahlberg fan in general, but I think that he and Farrell have
Good chemistry
in that movie. Then it's sort of it gets tighter at the top. The top three are really tight, and the top three are some combination of Step Brothers, Talladega Nights, and Anchorman. And I think I'm going to go with Anchorman number 3, now that I think about it, mainly because I haven't seen it in a long time.
Yeah.
And it was my favorite at the time, but I don't know if it is now, if it still would be. But I can still quote half the movie.
Mm-hmm.
You know, love the afternoon delight scene.
Yeah.
The big fight where they're all, you know, when Ben Stiller's there with his hair and he's like the Spanish network guy.
Yeah.
You know, you got all of Vince Vaughn stuff in there.
Christina Applegate.
Yep. It's great. I just don't know if I just haven't seen it in a while. And then I'm going to go with Talladega Nights. No, sorry. And then I'm going to go with Step Brothers because it's a classic. You get your classic Farrell, Reilly. This is the platonic ideal of Farrell, Reilly.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to actually put Talladega Nights ahead of it because you get Farrell and Reilly, but Sacha Baron Cohen is also so good.
And
Amy
Adams
is so good. And Jane Lynch is really good. And
Gary Cole
is really good.
Yep.
They're all amazing.
Yep.
Michael Clark Duncan is great.
Yep.
The guy who plays Kenneth in 30 Rock, I forget
Jack
his name.
McBrayer.
Jack McBrayer, also great.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody in that movie, top to bottom.
Oh, and then what's her name? Superstar.
Molly Shannon.
Molly Shannon.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's good too.
Also in this one, low-key deep cast.
Oh, yeah.
Mary
Really
Steenburgen and Richard Jenkins are amazing.
They're the best. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's my ranking.
Perfect.
Almost reverse order.
Yeah. Good. All right. Let's move on. All right. I said, who's your favorite in this movie?
I don't know. Who's your favorite?
Mary Steenburgen.
She's the one that holds it together.
Mary Steenburgen and Adam Scott.
I don't know if I would say Adam Scott.
He's so funny in it.
He is funny.
He's so funny in it.
I think Catherine Hahn's funnier.
No, I don't. I like Catherine Hahn, but no, I don't.
To me, it's not her lines. It's her desperation.
Yeah.
And it's her her facial expressions when she's at the table and she's like in the background.
Yeah.
Like I think she's a scene stealer without saying anything.
Yeah, but Adam Scott did Ice Ice Baby.
He did do Ice Ice Baby.
So I don't know what else you want.
Well, there's the one scene where Catherine Hahn is like, they're like listing out a bunch of things and they're going like 1, 2, 3, and she's in the background just going like with her hand like in front of her where like Adam Scott can't see her. She's like, and then there's also the part where where Will Ferrell is like throwing up. Oh no,
Yeah.
where John C. Reilly's like throwing up and
Yeah.
she's like rubbing his back and she's like, "Oh no, Dale, are you okay?" Like it's the little stuff
I get
for
it.
me for her. I think she's amazing.
She's so good. And Mary Steenburgen's the best.
Richard Jenkins' outbursts
Yeah, he's so funny.
are also great.
Okay. I said here, OMG, Rock of Love.
It was on TV.
Yeah, so they're watching Rock of Love starring Bret Michaels, VH1 dating show classic. I watched Rock of Love when I was in middle school. Very inappropriate. Yes, I also watched Flavor of Love.
Well, yeah.
Yes, I also watched Daisy of Love. Yes, I also watched Megan Wants a Millionaire, which they canceled because one of the contestants murdered someone.
Who's Megan?
She was from Rock of Love.
Oh,
so was
okay.
Daisy. Daisy was
okay.
from Rock of Love. And then I also watched like something like We Love Money or We Love Money or something. So I watched
Who was in We Love Money?
It was like a show to get money.
Oh.
So it was like
Okay.
all the people from Flavor of Love. Oh, and I also loved I Love New York.
Yeah, of course.
So I loved all of those. I watched every single one of them. They were truly disgusting television. And I watched it all at the age of like 12. I loved it. What's the trashiest show that you watched? I also watched a lot of Maury.
Yeah, oh yeah. We were Maury people. Absolutely.
We watched Maury in the past year.
Yeah, we did. It was the Lil Nas X episode.
Yeah.
When he did the storyline from the music video.
Yeah, exactly.
And now Maury's he's wrapping it up. I think he's done.
It's a shame.
Yeah. Yeah, mine are like Room Raiders, Next.
Date
those
My
types
Mom.
of shows. Yeah, Date My Mom. I didn't really watch Date My Mom as much.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, that was what a time to be alive.
Yeah, I loved
Would
all
I
those
recommend that
shows.
for anybody? No.
Yes.
But
I absolutely would.
like I don't want our kid growing up and like that's his crop of
Watching
shows.
Flavor Flav.
I mean, he could. I mean, we'll see by the time he gets there. But like, I hope that's not like anything similar to the crop of TV that's on when he's looking around to see what. Hey, maybe I want to watch this tonight.
I don't see anything wrong with wanting to watch I Love New York
I do.
with Real. Remember there were brothers on that show, Real and Chance?
I didn't watch I Love New York. I didn't watch any of those shows.
Oh, well, you missed
I
out.
didn't watch any of the Flavor of Love, Rock of Love.
Honestly, now it's kind of like the trashiest TV's on like TLC now.
Yeah. Oh, I was saying that the other day. Like TLC is the bottom of the barrel.
I don't really watch a
Yeah.
lot of that. I watch a little bit of that. I like the wedding shows from TLC, but like I don't watch a lot. I did watch the Duggars. Ooh. I do watch Sister Wives. Ooh. I watched John and Kate Plus 8 when that was on. They end up canceling a lot of shows because the people that they
Get convicted of crime or
they
something.
yeah they get in big trouble usually.
You're not a 90 Day Fiance fan.
No, I don't.
That's
I don't
TLC,
like.
right?
Yeah, that's TLC. I don't really like 90 Day Fiance. Okay, so
Not even Big Ed, my Walt from Knives Out.
yeah, exactly. Derek Adam Scott at one point said he went fishing with Mark Cuban, Chris Daughtry, Jeff Probst, and super chef Bobby Flay. I said that sounds like my old Snapchats I used to send to you.
Yes. Can I tell you what I wrote there? Maybe I
Yeah.
have to bleep this out.
Yeah.
I said nightmare rotation.
Yeah, you gotta beat that up. Wait, tell people about my Snapchats.
I don't know. Aaron used to send me these like random Snapchats of just like totally filtered selfies, and it would just be like, actually, I have a whole bunch of them. So go through your thought process, and I'll find.
All right,
I'll find
I
them.
don't know what happened. I think like I just have a thing. I know a lot of celebrities,
Like random pop
past
culture.
celebrities, pop culture icons, people that are relatively famous, and I used to just like put them in weird situations and like weird thoughts of mine, and I would just send them to Tom.
Yeah,
So,
I have it here somewhere.
They were like fake. I think you did it on Instagram actually.
Oh, I did do
for
an
one of my
Instagram post.
birthdays.
I'll find.
So it would be like, I would say something like, oh, I hope that, and then I'd say like Paula Abdul is having a great Tuesday. And it would be like me with a duck face.
I found it.
Okay.
Okay, so here's one where you have mouse ears and you're wearing glasses and you have like a little like mouse nose, and it's just hashtag, and it's in like a weird script font, and it's just hashtag justice for Sean Kingston. There's another one here of you with rainbow heart glasses, like hippie glasses.
Yeah.
And it says, no one understands what Alessia Cara has to go through to get her hamburger cooked the way she likes it. Then you have one where it's fake glasses and a bunch of flowers in the background, and it says Cuba.Gooding.Jr. in all caps.
That one did not age well.
No, it did not. Then you've got one with like Mickey Mouse ears of the American flag that is just in all caps, thank you, Taft.
Great president.
Another one with sunglasses and like these weird ears. I don't know why you always have the ones with like the ears, and it just says, is Hans Zimmer hot? Here's one with like freckles and like a flower in your hair that says, people need to understand that Mark Summers can't sign autographs all day long. I can't believe I live in a world where I can think about Trey from Laguna Beach all the time. Papa John is bad. Then in all caps, please don't be bad, little Caesar.
I spelled it wrong.
Cesar.
I was thinking about Caesar from Planet of the Apes.
That's also spelled the other way.
Yeah,
Oh man.
good.
Yeah, that's good stuff. Was that your question?
That was just a comment. Just like, do you remember those? There were like hundreds.
Oh yeah, I have more of them.
I would do
saved
it
somewhere.
Like just send like 15.
50 in a row. Like I would like this is I don't have Snapchat anymore, but when I did, I would have like 24 notifications.
It would be like, I wonder how Jane Lynch likes her French toast.
Yeah, exactly.
Like just random. I loved it. Maybe I'll start doing that again.
Chaotic. Oh, I found it. It's in an album on my phone titled Why. Here it is.
Oh my god, I need to see that.
I have like 40 of them.
All right, pick one where I know.
Matthew Lillard, hit me up. Peace, love, Kenneth Branagh. Dream guy, Jason Alexander. Okay.
Still true.
Wait, here's one last one. hat. You're wearing a hat. You have more flowers on there, and it just says, "I wish Annette Bening didn't have to deal with that crap."
So dumb. It's literally so stupid. But I love it. I'm going through all of those tonight. I love that you saved them. And you didn't even save all of them.
No, but I'm 100% posting them on Baby's First Watchlist Instagram.
Oh my God, that is so good. I love that. It's like my favorite personality trait of mine. Okay, next. I said that the movie actually is like pretty solid writing. So Brennan at one
Adam
point,
McKay's a good writer.
Yeah.
When he's, in his element.
Reined in.
Yeah.
Brennan at one point is like really mean to Dale, and he calls him a specific name that like I can't say because I'm not sure if it's offensive or not.
Yeah.
Tonto said it in The Lone Ranger.
I don't see it. Kimosabi.
Yeah.
I don't see that anyone has definitively answered that question.
I looked it up and there's like no. So, okay. So
we did our due diligence, people.
Yeah. Brennan says like Kimosabi when being mean to Dale, like saying, "Hey, you can't do that, Kimosabi," whatever, like random. But then later on in the movie, Derek is mean to Dale in the treehouse, and he's like, "Oh, hey, Kimosabi."
Yeah.
So it kind of shows that like Brennan,
they've been doing that for years.
Learned
Yes.
from Derek
Yes.
on like, oh, that's how you.
That's how you're cool
Are
and you-
superior to
Yes.
people. I love that little thing where it's like that one little insult that you're gonna remember.
Yeah.
I think that was really smart writing.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. I mean, it even though like much of this movie was improvised.
Yeah.
But
I
you can
see
tell
that.
that little things like that were not.
Right, exactly. I said, what line did you hear the most in high school or college? But like, try to keep it one of the PG lines. I mean, for me, when we went to college, it was so much room for activities when people made the bunk beds.
Yeah.
And I mean, the "did we just become best friends?" Yup, that was constant.
It's honestly still is that like that one I hear like when like athletes when somebody gets traded like all the people online are like, "Did we just become best friends?" Like yeah. It's still out there.
Yeah. Any other ones? I mean, boats and hose.
Boats
obviously.
and hose. I'm looking at a thing right now. I mean, a lot of them are
Very inappropriate.
A lot of them are vulgar stuff. Yeah, he says, "No way, Kimosabi. This is my house now."
Yeah.
Oh, you know what I like? This is not one that gets quoted a lot, but I liked when they were at the job interview and they kept when Will Ferrell couldn't figure out if she was saying Pam or Pan.
Pan or Pam.
Oh, it's like numb at the end. There's a silent B. Pan, Pam.
And then he just kept going, shut up.
That actress apparently did an insane audition for Alice.
Really?
And so they wanted her to be in the movie somehow.
That's fun.
And they put her in that role. I also love the like a lot of the Richard Jenkins stuff.
It's so good.
I don't know if I have a quote from him in particular because again they were all. I liked when he goes, he calls them like goons or something.
Yeah.
He's like, "You absolute goons."
He's so good. That's so funny. I mean, and then This Sweet Child of Mine.
We reference that constantly still.
All the time.
Yeah.
I said, what were some other like super popular comedies from high school and college that are kind of like in a similar, not trying to give any sort of message, like literally just stupid, trying to make you laugh comedies.
Super bad.
That's a good one.
All the Ferrell ones.
Yeah. Hangover.
Napoleon Dynamite.
Yeah.
Which I didn't like when I was younger, but I haven't seen it since. I might like it more now.
Mm-hmm.
That
was a Sundance movie.
Was it?
Yeah.
That makes sense.
We just watched a bunch of Sundance movies this year. Anything else that you remember from like
from
high
that time period
school or
specifically?
early college, yeah.
I mean, there were some of the Seth Rogen stuff.
Yeah.
The Apatow stuff had a
40-Year-Old
little bit.
Virgin.
The Apatow stuff was kind of a little bit more thoughtful.
Yeah. Right.
Then of course you got any Sandler that was coming out during that time.
Right.
Actually, that was kind
those are bad.
That was kind of this. Yeah, that wasn't a good Sandler era, but that was also like what like Click was coming out at that time.
Yeah, people kind of love.
You Don't Mess with the Zohan.
Yeah.
That was like that time, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the Sandler stuff. That's sort of like the movies that must not be named Sandler era.
Like Jack and Jill.
Yeah.
That's
Jack
My
and Jill,
Boy.
I think, was 2011.
Okay.
I don't know why I know that. But yeah, isn't it interesting how I think this is a pretty common like movie conversation nowadays that like comedies don't really exist anymore. Like
They do. They do.
But they exist in the context of drama.
No, I think here's my thing. I disagree because I think that you have people that say that there's no original movies anymore.
No, that's
blah
not what
blah
I'm saying.
blah. Oh, there's no comedies anymore. Yes, there are.
That's not what I
You're on
meant.
the other side of the debate usually.
That's not what I meant. What I meant was that there aren't comedy has changed. There aren't laugh out loud comedies that bring people to theaters. There aren't.
Well, that bring people to the theaters. Yeah, maybe not.
Like it's not like you have an Anchorman or a Superbad or a Knocked Up. Like all these movies were coming out within a couple of years of each other. Step
Yeah.
Brothers, Talladega Nights, and they were all hits.
Yeah.
Like comedy, I'm not saying I'm not ruining the fact that like comedy isn't comedy anymore, but it's like the landscape has changed. It's just an interesting development.
Yeah. I mean, I think that in general, movie watching has shifted.
For sure.
So it's hard to compare that, there too. Besides like Marvel and for some reason Avatar and Top Gun Maverick, like nothing is on. Like nobody goes to see anything anymore.
Yeah, but again, like
who's seeing 80 for Brady?
you.
I can't when
On a
I'm on a
plane.
plane.
On a plane.
I'm going on a plane in
Nick
May.
Pelesi's seeing 80 for Brady.
Okay, but I'm seeing 80 for Brady and plane when I'm on a plane.
So here is I'm gonna look up best comedies 2020s right now, and the only ones I can really think of are that are like legit. Well, and that wasn't even 2020s. Booksmart
Yeah.
was definitely one of them. The Eurovision movie
Yeah.
was one of them. But I don't think that even because that was during the pandemic, so I don't even think that was in theaters.
Right.
But a lot of them are like
When did 22 Jump Street come out?
The Jump Streets are good.
Pop Star. I know it's not 2020s, but that was like
20s.
late 20s.
I'm just using 2020s as an example.
Yeah.
But a lot of them here are, The King of Staten Island, which apparently was not like a laugh out loud comedy. Licorice Pizza.
Yeah, that's not.
I
don't like that movie.
Bullet Train, which is more of it seems like I haven't seen it, but it seems like more of an action movie. Free Guy. It doesn't like you don't get like it's a different era of comedy.
Sure. You hear it here first though. Theater Camp.
Yeah, Theater Camp was really good.
We watched that at Sundance and it's really, really funny.
Absolutely. If you see it come out anywhere, we'll probably post about it.
Yeah.
If we see it get bought up or something. I guess you got Borat.
Yeah, very nice.
Very nice.
Borat 2.
Yeah, but a lot of them are
More
like
bore, more at.
a lot of them are sort of built into other genres. Like even Bros, like was funny. It was a comedy, but it was like a
Romance.
straight up romantic comedy. Yeah.
Totally.
I just find it interesting. I don't think it's better or worse.
I have one more question for
Okay.
you. As you mentioned, there is an 80s Joel cover band.
Yes.
So it's Billy
Uptown
Joel,
Girl.
but it's just 80s Joel.
Yes.
What is another super specific band that you would want at the Catalina Wine Mixer next year? I have one.
Go for it.
Just Donkey Konga.
Straight up Donkey Konga.
Yeah, just Donkey Konga.
I don't know how widespread of a reference that is. We know at least one person who's gonna laugh at it.
You guys don't like Donkey Konga? What's wrong with Donkey Konga?
Very specific musical group.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, maybe like specifically like Black Eyed Peas without Fergie.
Oh, that's
like
good.
that
Then you
kind
get like really early Black Eyed Peas and really
Yeah.
late Black
Yeah.
Eyed Peas.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
They
pretty good.
they couldn't find a person that would fill the Fergie role, so they just can't do the Fergie stuff.
Yeah, I think that's
And they play
really
at
good.
weddings.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's perfect.
That's what you're looking for?
Yes.
Okay, good.
'Cause yeah, my answer was Donkey Konga, Tom. I don't really know what I'm looking for. All right, how about this? How about only songs sung by football players in movies?
In movies?
Movies and TV, yeah.
So like the Pitch Perfect 2
Green
stuff?
Bay Packers, and then you got the Christmas songs from the Eagles,
Yeah.
and then you could do the Chicago Bears rap song.
Yeah, the Patriots also had a song around that time.
There you go.
Because they played the Bears in that Super Bowl.
Yeah, I think that's perfect.
Manon said he'd want Fergie to specifically do the national anthem at the NBA All-Star game at the Catalina Wine Mixer, which would also be perfect.
It's a good idea, but none of the Black Eyed Peas songs.
Yeah, no, she can't do Black Eyed Peas because the group that we have is covering. They have the rights to the Black Eyed Peas.
How
songs
about
without
only Iggy Azalea songs that she's featured on?
Fergie. Okay, which are like what? Do you know any?
Yeah.
Because Fancy is her song.
Yeah, Fancy's hers.
Did she have one like Cardi B?
She had one with Ariana Grande.
Okay.
I got one less problem.
Oh, she was on that song?
Yep. And then
We saw Hosier do that song.
yeah, that was good.
That was random.
And then she also, I don't know if it's her song or Rita Ora song, but there's the song Black Widow Baby.
Well, we can count that because it doesn't matter.
Yeah. So she can do those songs.
And that's it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that would be pretty good. I think that's good.
Yeah.
Maybe only songs featured in The Hills season 2.
Or were there? I mean, I assume there were a lot.
I don't know.
Okay.
No, I'm not in charge of
But
the
you don't-
set list.
But you're not familiar with The Hill season 2?
I know that Unwritten is the theme song.
Okay, so we got one song.
And then at one point, Adriana dated Ryan Cabrera.
Okay.
So that might be in there.
Okay.
So I think that's
What might be in there?
a Ryan Cabrera song.
Okay.
So I think that's my lineup.
Yeah, that's solid.
Donkey Konga.
Yeah.
Iggy Azalea's features.
And Holy Child.
No, Holy Child. Hill season 2. And whatever you said. Fergie. No
Black Eyed
Fergie.
Peas, no Fergie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that sounds like a hit to me.
Yeah. Taboo, you gotta love it.
Apple Diop.
Apple Diop.
And
What about only Jason Derulo songs where he doesn't say Jason Derulo?
Oh, who wants that?
Who wants any of these? Who wants Donkey Kong?
I do. I want Donkey Konga.
Oh man.
I'm done with questions.
All right, I got a bunch of questions.
Oh, and don't forget the football players.
Oh, the football players, yes. There's got to be like some football player has to have an album.
I'm sure.
That's included.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like if Carson Wentz had like a gospel album,
Yeah.
then that would count.
I guess.
Okay.
Go Birds.
One of my questions is this a guilty pleasure movie or is it actually good?
It's good.
Okay. My related question is like, do people today, like kids and people who are, do they still watch Step Brothers? Are they still introduced to Step Brothers?
Listen, I would not feel comfortable asking 13-year-old
Right.
students if they like the movie Step Brothers.
What about a past student?
I probably could ask somebody like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm sure the answer would be yes.
Okay. Yeah, I just don't know because I've never grown up in a world where like Farrell and Reilly weren't royalty.
I know, right? I know. It's so true.
They'll
They'll probably be like, oh, that movie's old. I watched that when I was like 5.
It wasn't funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what's funny? Fortnite dances.
Oh, heck yeah.
Do you have anything like the drum set that you never wanted anybody to touch or go near?
No, but I did have one of those secret journals where like secret password journals.
Okay.
So it was like a plastic journal, and if you said the password, I think mine was Lemons. Shout out Lemon.
Yes.
My cousin's dog. And so if you say the password, it opens up.
Like the Marauders map.
Yeah, but if you just pull on it a little extra hard, it opens up. So I think,
Did it have like any like invisible ink action going on or?
No, but that would have been a great idea. A little throwback to our Knives Out episode.
Yeah. Not even intentional. I didn't even think of that.
Yeah, no. I didn't have anything really that was like super like, oh my God, that's mine and you can't come near it.
I don't think I did either.
No. I mean, like if I had a bag of Doritos or something that I wanted.
Yeah.
Like it's my food.
Yeah.
Where
you get shanked.
in the movie where he says, make sure you write your name on it so I don't throw it out. So it doesn't get thrown out. What about you?
I don't think I had anything that I was that protective over.
My man.
Yeah, exactly. Mainly because people in my house, like, we really left each other alone for the most part. Like, there was no, like...
We didn't in my family, but I
Yeah.
just didn't care.
Yeah. I don't know if there was anything that, like, people used of mine. Like, even though, like, I had... Usually the video games were in my room, but I didn't care if people just came in and played. You know, like, my
Yeah.
dad used to play, my brother used to play. Just whatever. Just come in, play the PlayStation, whatever. I didn't really care about anything like that as much.
Okay.
But I thought it would be an interesting question to ask you because I didn't know. Not like a
password
blanket.
Well, no. No one wanted to touch my
That is-
blanket. My
yeah,
blanket was my little comfort item. Was disgusting.
that is very true.
Shout out Penguin.
Is this one of the most quotable movies ever?
Yes.
What are other like really quotable movies?
Hangover.
Mean Girls.
Mean Girls.
Go back and listen to our Mean Girls episode.
I don't know what else.
I think those are the only quotable movies ever. It's those three.
Shrek. Shrek's quotable.
Yeah, I mean, there's something.
Donkey.
There's something about a quotable movie. I think that my high school friends and I became
Anchorman.
close over like movie quotes. I think that's just like
Super bad.
I think like the meme online is like white guys just quote movies at each other, and that's their entire friendship.
That's pretty funny.
And like when I was in high school, that's not untrue at all. Pretty true.
Yeah.
Between this one, like all the
What
ones
about
you just
like
mentioned.
what about like Still Alice?
Yeah, pretty quotable. Yeah, absolutely. Yes, the dementia movie with Julianne Moore, very quotable. Very.
Titanic's quotable,
It is
but in like a different way.
in like a. Well, it was like a serious way at the time, but
Yeah.
now it's kind of you joke around with "I'm king of the world"
I don't joke around about disasters
about James Cameron.
or literal like disasters that killed people.
Yeah, but you're not joking about the disaster. You're joking about the quotes,
I'm not joking about the quotes.
not you specifically.
I take Billy Zane extremely seriously.
Clearly, you put him in Knives Out last week.
I mean business. Like, what do you want? Pop star.
Oh,
The Room.
God.
The Room is the #1 quotable movie.
Pop Star. Pop Star is so good.
I know.
All the people, all the like the Nas Good Wife
Yeah.
reference, like
Yeah,
all that stuff
it's
is
all
so
good.
good.
The Room is the most quotable movie.
Yeah, you're tearing me apart, Lisa.
Oh, hi, Mark.
Oh, hi, Mark. I did not do. What is it?
I did not. Yeah, I did not.
I
oh,
did
hi,
not.
Mark. Yeah.
Where's the money, Denny?
Hi, doggy.
You're my favorite customer.
I definitely have breast cancer.
All right.
Remember those?
Yes. Have you ever sleepwalked?
No.
Me either.
No, but you snore real bad.
Yeah, I have a CPAP machine. I'm 30.
I talk in my sleep,
Yes, you do.
but I don't walk.
It's to the point where, like, if you turn around and you say something to me while you're, like, purportedly asleep, I just look at you and I'm just like, what do you want? And then you just go back to sleep.
Or I have my like little anxiety baby attacks
Yes.
where I'm like, oh my god, the baby's in the bed.
Yes.
And the baby's not in the bed.
Yeah, that's the equivalent of the sleepwalking.
That's like an
thing.
actual like disorder thing or whatever
Yeah.
that like I looked up. It's a real thing.
If we were once we have our second child, God willing, what is a song that we should practice singing in the car together?
That's a really good question.
I will try to be less. I'll try to be less domineering than Derek was during that scene. But
yeah.
because I expect perfection, but I'll be nicer about it.
Okay. You know, I've really thought about it in the 20 seconds since you asked this question, and I think I'm going to go with either Star Spangled Banner
Okay.
or Funky Cold Medina.
I'm okay with. I'll do either of those.
Okay.
Maybe a mashup.
Yeah.
Um,
Or my other choice is Pursuit of Happiness.
Kid Cudi?
Yeah.
Yeah. We could do that one. I'm pretty sure that's wildly inappropriate for children, but
No, then they'll just do the Star Spangled Banner.
yeah, not inappropriate. Also a very hard song to sing.
Yeah, it is. So if anyone sounds bad and you're watching a game or whatever, like not Fergie.
Cut him some slack.
It's a hard song. Oh, that's good. Manat said, what about I didn't make it up. He said the Wild Wild West song Aaron made up. I didn't make up the song. I made up the dance.
We could do Wild Wild West.
Yeah, that's perfect. What
Yeah.
do you think?
Or Miami, well, for that matter.
Yeah. Benvenido a Miami.
Yeah, I'm good with all those. I'm good with what's that song by Sixpence None the Richer?
Kiss me. You do that.
We could do
Kiss me.
yeah, that's a good one, right?
Yeah.
We can maybe do Unwell by Matchbox 20.
I'm not crazy. I'm just a little unwell. Yeah, that's a good one.
Or maybe the Modern Family theme song. Just where we'll just sort of scat it.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine. I'm not doing that.
We could. I'm just saying. These are
Okay.
just suggestions.
Golden Girls theme song.
Golden Girls theme song. Well, yeah, of course, obviously. My Heart Will Go On. Speaking of Titanic,
Yeah, that's good.
those are all good ones, right?
Perfect.
Yeah, I think those all are. Again, I will expect perfection for all
And
of
then
these.
La Vie en Rose.
Yes. Or what about Kiss from a Rose?
Both.
Yes. Shout out Seal,
All right, yeah, I think that's a good playlist.
which is another pop star reference.
It is a pop star. Character and person.
Let's see. So in this movie, Will Ferrell has a samurai sword signed by Randy Jackson from American Idol.
Mm-hmm.
At the time from American Idol.
Yeah.
If you could get a random celebrity's signature on a random item, what would it be?
Okay, well, while I think about that, I want you to talk about the latest of Randy Jackson that you experienced in your life.
Okay, yeah. While Erin was giving birth, I was, it took a while. We've been through like part of the story.
53 hours.
So at the hospital, I was obviously with the nurse and the midwife and Erin, who was like there in spirit.
I swear, I don't.
Oh, actually, no, you were there physically, but not
I
in
was
spirit.
not there in spirit.
It's a long process, and so there was a lot of stuff going on. But we had the TV on, and the Yankee game had ended. They beat the Red Sox, and what came on next was, I believe it was Name That Tune, and the midwife was just like very chill. She was like watching the game with me. We were yucking it up. Erin remembers none of it.
I was like,
And that was before the baby came out. The Name That Tune was on, and the midwife was like, "Oh man, is that Randy Jackson? He doesn't look so good."
like contracting. All right, so I have my answer. I would want Amy Robach to sign a Pokemon card.
It'd be worth a lot of money right now.
It'd be worth a lot of money. Yeah. What would you want?
I don't know. I think a samurai sword is a good option.
Okay. Well, who do you want to sign it?
Jimmy Rollins, ex Philadelphia Phillies shortstop.
Shout out Philly.
Yeah.
What about Bobby Cannavale?
What about Bobby Cannavale could sign whatever.
Yeah, I agree.
He could sign this Jennifer Coolidge prayer candle we have right here.
Totally. Perfect.
What's your favorite Will Ferrell Saturday Night Live sketch?
Let's see.
He is probably my favorite of all time.
He's so good. My friend Molly had the best of Will Ferrell
Me too.
DVDs.
There were two of them. Yeah.
Don't worry, I added this in
Yep.
there. You know what I kind of really love? I love the
Celebrity Jeopardy is
Celebrity
probably
Jeopardy is really good. The
classic.
Robert Goulet stuff doesn't age
problematic.
100% well, but
problematic.
it's really funny. The cheerleader stuff is really good.
I like the chess match.
Very funny.
Yeah.
The one thing though that I always think about is when he's singing Most Wonderful Time of the Year and it's spinning and he starts throwing up. I love that one.
Okay. Best Will Ferrell SNL. Well, I mean, there's the George Bush stuff, which he
Of
did
course.
too on there. What about Harry Carey?
Do you know that the moon was made of cheese? Yeah, that's funny.
If the moon was made of cheese, would you eat it?
Yeah.
There was also the one where he was. Remember the one where it was like dissing your dog?
Yeah, that was funny. I do remember.
Oh,
that, actually.
more cowbell.
Oh, of course.
Yeah,
with his crop top shirt.
Yeah, and Walken being the
So
the
good.
guy being like,
Need more cowbell.
we all get up in the morning and put our pants on one leg at a time. The difference is when I put my pants on, I make gold records. That's the Walken quote.
Good stuff.
What about when he's the devil
Yeah, that's good
and
too.
with Garth Brooks?
Oh, it's the best.
Yeah, there's a guy named Fred and he's got a pair of slacks.
Yeah.
He's like, this guitar is out of tune.
It's so good.
Yeah, I mean Farrell on SNL is
Iconic.
all time. Him, Sandler, Farley.
You can't beat it.
That was, I guess, kind of the SNL that I grew up with. But like those, I think, are my favorites. That crop.
It's funny because I really didn't watch Saturday Night Live.
I didn't either, but I had the DVDs.
Until I watched it with the Kristen Wiig, Jason Sudeikis,
That's
Bill
another great crew.
Hader,
Yeah,
Fred Armisen,
Amy Poehler.
Seth Meyers, Keenan.
That's a good one too. Good crop.
Maya Rudolph. Like I watched that.
And that was like the beginning of like Kate McKinnon, Cecily Strong.
Yeah, Kate McKinnon, Cecily Strong, A.D. Bryant, Leslie Jones. Yeah, all them. I liked that era a lot, actually. That was really fun. I seriously, like, I know people say, oh, SNL sucks, all this stuff. But over the years, it's been so funny. And even now, you get funny sketches. I know it's not consistent.
Yeah.
But I still find it to be funny.
It depends. I mean, I think that there's some people on it now that are funny. I actually don't know the latest season. Like, I don't know, like, since all the other people left. But,
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they're all funny individually for sure.
You have to be funny to be on the show.
Yeah, like Bowen Yang is great.
Oh, he's so funny.
Kyle Mooney's great. Like they're all just different.
Yeah.
Like Tim Robinson was on it. He was just a writer for like a season, but like he's fun. Like everybody on there is funny individually. It's just sometimes it's hard
to make sketches and
come together
with a celebrity in there.
Live. Yeah. Like when Elon Musk was Wario.
Oh no. Oh no.
That was rough stuff.
That's not.
That was rough stuff. I know we talked about this last night, and you might have changed my mind on it, but I have to say it anyway. Is Dale the most common movie and TV name that is extremely rare in real life?
No, I've taught Dales. I went to school with Dale. Like,
because I never
did we go to school with a Dale? I swear we went to school with a Dale, but I'm saying no.
I don't think I've ever encountered a Dale in the wild.
I have taught at least one Dale.
But obviously there's Dale Earnhardt, like you mentioned.
I said Dale Earnhardt Jr., baby.
And I'm sure that there's a bunch. But
yeah,
when I think just off the top of my head, I think of this. I think of Walking Dead. There was a Dale. Kyle MacLachlan's character in Twin Peaks is named Dale.
Nerd.
There's like all these like random Dales in movies. And
Dales exist. Justice for Dale.
Yeah. King of the Hill has a Dale.
I can tell you for sure I know a couple Dales.
Well, I'm not saying that there's no Dales. I'm saying
you did say there were no Dales. Yesterday.
Yeah.
Yes.
I changed what I said.
Yeah, there's Dales.
Yeah, I forgot about Earnhardt. Earnhardt's a rough look for me.
And don't forget, he had a dad named Dale too.
Well, I'm talking about the Earnhardt clan.
Yeah. Multiple Dales.
Yeah, right there. Yeah, I don't know. Then you got Dale, like Pipple.
That is not a name, Tom. That is like offensive.
No, it's not. I had a recasting here, but we don't need to recast.
No, we don't need to recast. They can just do it again.
Yeah.
Just be 50.
I read something that Adam McKay wanted to do it like QAnon themed. Like,
no,
enough. Please stop.
Adam McKay needs to stop with the...
Adam McKay, stop. He was like, I could see them getting it. It's like, no.
The last thing we need is that, honestly.
Yeah. Let's see. What kind of comments do I have here? There's a lot of stuff we've already talked about. Vampire Weekend, Guitar Hero, how great John C. Reilly is.
The best.
I said, has Adam Scott ever had another role like this before or after?
I really don't think I've seen it.
I don't know if I've seen it.
I'm not saying that he doesn't. He is in Party Down. I have not seen it. I might have seen an episode back in the day.
Yeah. One of his quotes I wrote down was when Alice first meets Dale and she's like kissing him, and they're like outside. It's like around the side of the house, and Adam Scott is Derek's going to the car, and he yells, "Hey Alice, come on, Dane Cook pay-per-view, 20 minutes."
Man, that's a fall from grace right there.
Oh man, but Derek is a Dane Cook fan. It's like it's a perfect. Tuxedos to job interviews is brilliant. I would hire them immediately.
No, you wouldn't.
Oh, the reason I love Richard Jenkins so much in this, we haven't really talked about him or Mary Steenburgen. Mm-hmm. Richard Jenkins is great in this because he plays it dead serious.
Oh yeah.
He plays it like Michael Caine in A Muppet Christmas Carol.
Yeah.
Like when they crash the boat, he's like the most devastated he's ever been in his entire life.
Richard Jenkins plays it like it's a serious drama, like it's a man going through a crisis with his son and stepson,
and he's getting ready to split from his wife.
Yes, Mary Steenburgen plays the most empathetic but also enabling mother.
Yes,
and she's so earnest.
Yep,
it's gorgeous work from both of them.
I think that they both play their roles to perfection, and they both talked about how they had never really been on a set that was so improv heavy.
Yeah.
Most of the actors, except for Farrell and Reilly, talked about that and how
that's hard. How
tough of an adjustment it was, but it wasn't tough because of how good everybody else was.
Yeah.
Like
fill in the gaps.
Yeah. Ken Jeong, I have a quote from Ken Jeong, who was the doctor. No, was he a doctor? No, he's just Dr. Ken. He's a doctor.
Doctor in real life.
He's a doctor in Knocked Up.
Yes.
He's the catering guy that hires Dale. And Ken Jeong, so he's in the movie for like 20 seconds. He said they filmed that for like an entire day.
That's wild.
Because there were so many like little like
and
lines
he's
that
funny,
they were
so.
and he is funny. And he said this about McKay, Farrell, and Reilly. You just got the sense that they were this three-headed monster, a backcourt of like Kevin Durant, Steph Curry, and Klay Thompson. This was from July 2018. They're unselfish and they share the ball. Oh my God, those guys are scoring so much. Oh my God, they're going to pass the ball to me and let me put in a layup because the defense is going to collapse on them. I'm literally a doctor and I just banked in a layup. Basically, like that's how good those guys are.
Well, all right, and that leads to the drama now.
Yes. Actually, yeah.
Right?
Very, very apropos. So I don't know how clued in the McKay, Farrell, Reilly verse our dear listener may be, but there has apparently been a bit of a split among Farrell and McKay. And the rumors are, the last I read, which was admittedly a while ago, that McKay was... Did Farrell produce too? They had a production company called Gary Sanchez Productions, and it was Farrell and McKay, and they would, have their hands in everything. They partially they're some of the executive producers on Succession. Like they have a lot of stuff together that they do, and
well, Farrell actually by himself is a producer on Theater Camp.
Yes, he is. Which ensuing from the split.
Right.
So apparently for the show Winning Time, which was about the Showtime LA Lakers in the 70s, and Farrell wanted to play Jerry Buss, who I think is like the main focus of the show, and he was the GM owner of the Lakers, and sort of put together those like franchise, the whole dynasty and all that. And Farrell like sort of was under the assumption that he was going to play him. And then McKay basically, the story goes that he kind of went behind his back and called John C. Reilly and offered him the part instead.
And John C. Reilly didn't know. And
John C. Reilly apparently, again, nobody knows what happened, but the story is that he didn't know that Farrell wanted to play the character. And so he accepted right away because he's like, yeah, of course. Like, I love working with McKay and Farrell. I love think it's a great role, whatever. And so John C. Reilly played that role, and Will Ferrell no longer is a part of Gary Sanchez Productions.
Right.
Now it's, what is it? It's something Sanchez, Jenny Sanchez.
Gloria
Sanchez, with another person that he is working with now. And that was who produced Theater Camp, I think.
I think so. I don't know if that's right.
So there's some sort of rift.
Yeah.
In the McKay, Farrell, Reilly verse, which is sad.
It is sad.
I hope they can make a comeback and put together some good stuff.
Me too.
Because this is great, and so is Talladega Nights,
and so is Succession.
It's true. Succession, I think, very clearly has more McKay in it than Farrell, but there's a lot of there. You could see some Farrell in there too. But McKay does all the promotional stuff. Like right. I think it was more his thing. Mm-hmm. But yeah, so literally the Ken Jeong basketball reference is
perfect segue into it.
He had no idea. What was to come. But they talk about. I read that whole interview. The Ringer interviewed them all in 2018. It actually didn't interview Farrell or Reilly because they declined. But they sort of interspliced some of their quotes from previous interviews into the article. So I have a few things that people had said about each other and about the set and everything. So McKay talked about how much he loved John C. Reilly and why. He says, playfulness and humor mixed with incredible specificity. That's what Reilly has almost as much as anyone walking around. I don't know if you saw the latest King Kong movie. He's fantastic in it. The jokes he's doing here are really specific. The whole movie wakes up when he walks in. His instincts are so good. Even when he's doing the broadest joke in the world, he always makes it specific and personal, and that's really the key to great comedy. And the article writer gave the example of when Robert and Nancy announced they're divorcing, and Dale blurts out while he's like crying. He goes, "Is it because we were bad?" Steenbergen said, this is going to kind of function as my trivia section. Steenbergen said that her husband, Ted Danson, never joins her on movie sets, but he made an exception for Step Brothers.
Heck yeah.
Adam Scott said that, I remember Catherine, Han, and I, the first day, just sort of looking at each other like, oh my God, this is the best gig. And Han said, it definitely felt like I had someone there that I could turn to and be like, holy crap, can you believe we're doing this movie? Because everybody else I felt like I had to be real cool around, but every so often we would look at each other and be like, oh my God, that's Will Ferrell. It's funny to think of like actors doing that to other actors.
Well, and it's funny because they're both so famous now.
Yeah. Han said, I did not envy the editors trying to find a story. One of the crew members said, there's this other version of this sleepwalking scene where Dale and Brennan get up and they get in a car and they drive to a convenience store and they beat up the convenience store guy and tear up the gas station.
Oh my God.
Then they drive home and hit a fountain in the neighbor's yard and they wake up and they have no memory of whatsoever of what they'd done, but they're just covered in junk food. But it was so long that it physically couldn't be in the movie. And there was a 4-hour cut of the movie.
I'd watch it.
Farrell said that one of his treasured keepsakes from Step Brothers is his pair of prosthetics that he put on the drum kit.
Yes. Yes.
And that every now and then he brings it out at dinner parties.
Oh, gross.
So McKay talked about how weird it is to basically have a movie and then like it's just sort of in the ether.
Sure.
He says you have a good release, everyone's happy, and then a year later something starts to kind of percolate. In February 2010, Farrell called me and he was like, did you read the lead story about the Saints winning the Super Bowl? And I'm like, no, what? And he's like, Google it right now. I pulled it up and it said, after whatever years of disappointment, the Saints came into their locker room and there was silence. And then one voice yelled, it's the effing Catalina Wine Mixer. And all the other players yelled, it's the effing Catalina Wine Mixer. And I was like, whoa.
So
That's another one that everyone
everyone
forever.
knows it. Yeah. Catalina Wine Mixer.
Which is nothing, which is why it's great.
Yeah, it wasn't even a thing beforehand.
No. And it's not filmed on Catalina Island. They said it was too expensive. Steenbergen, similarly, like while we're talking about quotes, she said, you can almost tell from the expression on someone's face when they come up to you that they're going to mention Step Brothers. Like that she said they have a stupid look on their face.
That's awesome.
And Rob Riggle said, people always ask, what's your favorite movie? And I always say Step Brothers. Always. That was the most fun I ever had on a set. Adam Scott said, Catherine and her family and our kids are close friends. I showed my kids, which ended up being a mistake. It's an incredible movie, but I'd forgotten how filthy it is. The kids couldn't believe what they heard coming out of Catherine's mouth.
Oh my God.
My wife and I were both sort of lunging for the remote. And then Han said, I am so excited to be able to show my kids this movie. One day, I'll have to fast forward mommy's parts. And then that another crew member said, I've always been delighted at how much Adam McKay and Will Ferrell absolutely love each other and crack each other up.
That's sad.
And I will go on the record, comedy is dead unless Adam McKay does another comedy.
Okay.
That is sad.
Yeah.
Given what was to come.
Wow.
But I've got some more fun stuff. When Brennan, this is separate trivia. When Brennan and Dale are in their room showing each other their night vision goggles and the autographed sword, the camera pans around while the characters are walking, and a Hugelow's pizza car light is on top of the chest of drawers in the room, which was the pizzeria that Ricky Bobby worked at when he was no longer a race car driver.
There you go.
There's at least 6 people that sing in this movie. The only person whose voice was replaced by a professional was, of course, Adam Scott.
Yeah, right.
Do you know who auditioned for Derek?
Who?
John Hamm. He would have been really good.
He would have been good too.
Apparently, Adam Scott got the role because Paul Rudd told Adam McKay that Adam Scott was one of the funniest people he knew.
He did so good.
Yeah, and McKay was like, when Paul Rudd tells you that, you have to
go with it.
Because, yeah. When it came to Mary Steenburgen, Will Ferrell called her after she played his stepmom in Elf, and he asked if she would be offended by playing his actual mom because she's only 14 years older than him. And I mentioned the Pam person, and then there's one person who claims to have seen this film more times than he has seen any other movie.
Who?
Joaquin Phoenix.
That's very intriguing.
So a couple of weeks ago on our Oscars episode, Uncle Nick P asked us if we have actors that we get confused with one another, and I didn't really have a good answer. I actually used to confuse both Step Brothers' parents with other people.
Yeah.
I used to confuse Richard Jenkins with Bradley Whitford,
mm-hmm.
who we covered a Bradley Whitford movie, which was Billy Madison.
Yep.
They don't look anything alike. I don't know why I confused. Maybe I just think that Richard Jenkins looks like a Bradley Whitford.
They were in Cabin in the Woods.
And they were in Cabin in the Woods together. And they were like friends in Cabin in the Woods.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
is it Mary Steenburgen and Catherine Keener?
it is.
Yeah.
Which again
they are confusing.
Are mom characters from this time period in comedies.
Yep.
In Judd Apatow produced comedies.
Yes, 100%.
But again, no way. I know
Right.
I obviously know both of them separately.
Right.
But at the time and when I was younger, I got both of those pairs confused.
Yep.
But it's funny because if you asked me like, okay, which one's in Step Brothers, I would have said Richard Jenkins and Mary Steenburgen. If I see them in the wild, I'm like, I wasn't sure which one they were, but.
Oh, and that reminds me. I remembered at 5:57 a.m. this morning
Yes.
that the person I confused with Ben Foster is Ben Mendelsohn.
Yes.
So just take that with what you need to.
Yeah, I mean, whatever. So the fight where they're wrestling with each other until they fall asleep is like what I feel like when I wake up with the baby at 3
Oh
a.m.
my God.
when like he's just kicking it, and then we just both kind of like are like begrudgingly on the chair together as I'm holding him and feeding him.
It's just awful. Yeah. Beautiful time.
Do you want to know what the most dated reference in this entire movie is?
What?
So okay, I don't even think I mentioned Rob Riggle's character. He's like Derek's,
Adam Scott Crony.
Derek's crony.
Yeah.
And he just keeps going pow,
Yeah.
pow, which
Yeah.
is improvised.
Yeah.
Yeah, he said he just thought that it was funny that Adam Scott was like the way that he was saying things. So he was just wanted to emphasize it in the background like an idiot.
Pow pow.
Pow pow. He tells Brennan that he's going to eat his blank like Kobayashi.
Yeah. Now it's Joey Chestnut.
It's pre-Chestnut. This is BC. Before Chestnut.
Yeah.
It's like being pre-Babe Ruth.
Yeah.
Like
That's so true.
What a world this was when Kobayashi was the man, and there was no Joey Chestnut yet.
Yeah, that's true.
An American hero, Joey Chestnut. That is wild.
USA.
And that was a specific time too, between the rise of Kobayashi and the rise of Chestnut. That was like a 5-year period. Crazy.
Right in there.
Whew. Any non-Americans listening to this, just look up the Coney Island hot dog eating contest. You won't regret it. I wrote that our baby's second favorite singer is featured heavily in this movie, Billy Joel.
That's true.
What else do I got here? I had this version of Porti Volare on my iPod Mini.
Yeah.
Thoughts?
That's really funny. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Did you have an iPod?
I did.
Which one did you have?
I had a couple.
I had a Mini and a Touch.
I did not have a Touch.
Did you have a Shuffle?
I think I had a
You
Shuffle.
seem like an iPod Shuffle person.
Thanks. Yeah.
I don't know what that means, but
Me either. Any questions about my iPods?
So with the Shuffle, there was no screen. So how did you know what was on there?
Russian roulette.
Honestly, I respect that.
You plug it into the computer and you see it on there.
That's what I do with my Spotify playlist now. I just shuffle it anyway.
There you go.
Who needs
What are some other good songs you had?
good songs or songs?
Like crazy, like weird. Like why do you have that?
Well, on my iPod, I don't know. I wasn't into music enough to have like weird stuff on there. When I got to Spotify, once I started putting some playlists together with my friends on Spotify, that's when it got a little weird.
Oh, okay. I had Crazy Frog, Axel F. Ding 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 ding.
I had no idea that's what that song was called.
Bing bing ding 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 ding. Frog.
I had peanut butter jelly time.
I also had a song called Emo Kid. And
Okay.
I went, I'm an emo kid, non-conforming as can be. You'd be non-conforming too if you look just like me.
Who did that?
I got it off LimeWire. I also had the Pokemon song sung by the Smosh kids on YouTube.
Who are the Smosh kids?
These two like kids, and they did the Pokemon song.
Was it good?
I mean, I think it was just the Pokemon song.
But you weren't really a Pokemon fan.
No, I didn't. I know.
Okay.
You don't need to be a Pokemon
No,
fan.
I was just I know. I'm just saying like it's like that's.
And then the big thing is, if you, the first song that you have, like alphabetically, always like plays when like the iPod dies and start, or like there's a thing where like constantly, if it accidentally plays, it plays that.
So it's not really shuffle.
And for so many, that was for my regular iPod.
Oh, okay.
And for so many people, we all had the same one. It was the A Team by Ed Sheeran.
Ed Sheeran was iPod days?
It was like his first song,
Oh, man.
A-Team. So it was A-Team. So because it was A space team,
Yeah.
it was the first song.
Like a team.
I mean, sure.
But A-Team, like the movie, the A-Team has a hyphen.
Yeah, this doesn't have a hyphen.
Ed Sheeran.
He knew what he was doing.
Grammatically dubious.
No, he knew what he was doing. It's kind of like if you're like
think it would've still
AAA
did.
cleaners and then you show up first in the yellow pages.
Yes. I just think I have the Ebert review, which...
Don't read it. Let's just say he didn't love it.
No, I want to read it because there was a... Vulture wrote an article after the fact. I don't have the Vulture article, but it was like, we don't know if Roger Ebert's okay after reading his Step Brothers review. Basically, he went existential with it. Like, he was like, I'm sure I've seen... He gave it a 1.5 out of 4. I'm sure I've seen movies with more extreme language than Step Brothers, but here it seems to serve no purpose other than simply to exist. In its own tiny way, it lowers the civility of our civilization. Adam McKay referenced that in the Ringer article, and he said, that was the point. Like, we wanted it to be as stupid as possible.
Yeah, of course.
Ebert continued, sometimes I think I am living in a nightmare. All about me. Standards are collapsing. Manners are evaporating. People show no respect for themselves. I am not a moralistic nut. I'm proud of the X-rated movie I once wrote. I like vulgarity if it's funny or serves a purpose. But what is going on here? I don't know. Then he describes like a whole part of the movie about like the part where, which I didn't mention in the plot summary, where Will Ferrell buries John C. Reilly alive.
I love that part.
He says,
I love that part.
I don't know.
I'm burying you.
Maybe it sounds funny when you read it. Coming at the end of a series of similar cruelties, it was one living burial too many. There's also an attempted drowning, and never mind. He's just so defeated. And he ends it by saying, there's one genuinely funny moment in the movie. The blind man who lives next door has a guide dog that misbehaves, snarls, and bites people. Bad taste, yes. But I'm desperate here. Do you see why the dog doing it is funny, but Will Ferrell doing it to John C. Reilly is not? That's it.
That's funny.
He's just so like, he's worn.
I love Roger Ebert.
Roger Ebert is world weary in this review. Yeah. So, you know, not a glowing review from our boy Raj, but
you got to think though, the end of 2008, it had been a long 8 years.
yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes. We were coming to the end of that time.
A certain era. Yeah.
Yes. A certain era referenced in the beginning of this film.
That's exactly right.
Yeah. So that's what I got on Step Brothers. Does Step Brothers make baby's first watch list?
Yeah.
Yeah. Our baby. Yup. Our baby and Step Brothers will become best friends.
100%.
Any takeaways?
No.
I have two. I have embrace new situations.
Yeah, that's
You
good.
may not always want to be doing what you have to do, but, you know, make the best of it. And second, I couldn't say it any better than what's his name? Richard?
Yeah.
Don't lose your dinosaur. Stay weird.
Perfect.
Not too weird. But be different
I like it.
and be creative. And use it to creatively solve problems.
Perfect.
So, that's Step Brothers, baby.
Okay, what are we doing next?
Next week, we are doing a movie from the same time period. It is High School Musical.
I love this movie.
I have never seen it in full. I didn't like what I've seen, but we're gonna give it a
You
shot.
have to go into it knowing it's a DCOM, Disney Channel original movie.
Oh, I didn't know
It's
that.
like a made-for-TV movie.
I understand that.
Okay.
I know what I'm getting into.
It's-
Directed by the god, Kenny Ortega.
Yeah, it's Kenny Ortega.
It stars the likes of Zac Efron, Vanessa Hudgens, Ashley Tisdale, and the iconic
Lucas Grabeel.
Corbin Bleu.
Oh, Corbin Bleu. Don't forget Monique Coleman.
Yeah, I just wanted to end on Corbin Bleu. Yeah.
I love Corbin Bleu.
It's on Disney Plus. If you haven't seen it like me, go check it out and join us next week. After that, we are going to have a secret guest episode, which we referenced last week.
We're still figuring out. It's secret to us still.
Yeah, but it'll get figured out. And then Roadhouse again after that. So not again, but again, as in I told you last week. Rate, review, subscribe, follow. You know the whole deal. Especially TikTok. We're doing decently on TikTok, which is nice.
Okay.
So yeah,
Hooray.
that's it. That's Step Brothers.
Okay. Have a great day.
See you later.
Bye.